Winter Storm Blair brought historic snowfall to portions of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, but also a significant ice storm to portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley that ended up leading to several interstate closures, wrecks, and accidents. Overall, it was a big disaster, and it also ended up bringing some significant tornadoes to certain portions of the Deep South areas like Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. But what if I was going to tell you that an even more historic winter storm could be coming soon? Now, this is not going to bring feet of snow to parts of the Ohio Valley. It's not going to bring a massive ice storm, and it's not going to bring a widespread tornado outbreak. So you may be thinking, Davis, how is this going to be more significant than Winter Storm Blair? Well, it all comes down to one thing: geography. Lately, the models, not only the GFS, but also the Canadian, European, and RGEM, have been picking up on a signal for a strong to high-end winter storm to impact portions of Dixie Alley, the Ohio Valley, and New England even. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the specific threats that brings, where it could impact, and more. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This is the GFS model. We can see the remnants of Winter Storm Blair are going to make their way off the East Coast here today, but bring some significant snow to parts of the East Coast while doing so. But if we play this out to Wednesday, we can see we've got some snow showers developing in portions of Texas, and that's not too crazy. But by the time we get into Wednesday night into Thursday morning, a big band of freezing rain and wintry mix develops all the way from portions of northeast Texas back down to the border, and that is quite rare, all right? We have well below average temperatures in Texas forecasted for later this week, and that's going to lead to this system that we're expecting to develop because of that moisture developing into a bit of a snow threat for portions of North Texas and southern Oklahoma here. All right, this is Thursday afternoon and around 12 p.m. A lot of that snow continues to push northeastward here, and look at this. This is Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, not three states that are typically known for snow, even considering the fact that we're in January. So this will be a very rare event, and we will likely end up seeing some of that spill into portions of Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. Now, that is extremely rare. Those are states that hardly ever see snow, probably once every few years. So this is going to be a very historic winter storm because of that fact. But after that, the GFS likes this becoming a massive nor'easter and bringing an absolute crap ton of snow to portions of southern New England. There are areas like Rhode Island, southern Massachusetts, Connecticut, upstate New York, Long Island, New Jersey. All those areas are forecasted to get significant snow from this. Now, this is not exactly going to be what happens, obviously, but I will say the GFS has had a somewhat consistent signal on this, so it's something to look out for there. And by the time we get into early next week, this system will be exiting the country. So how much snow would that bring if that were to play out? Well, the GFS likes the idea of a swath of a foot plus of snow across sections of northeast Texas and southern Arkansas. Now, remember, there's still plenty of time for these totals to change here. This is not going to be exactly what we end up seeing, but it is a pretty good guess that we have as of right now, and portions of southern New England there are expected to pick up much more than that, up to 2 feet of snow forecasted there for portions of central New Jersey, parts of southern New York, maybe portions of Massachusetts and Connecticut as well, and a good foot plus everywhere from parts of Massachusetts all the way back down into Virginia there. Now, obviously, again, this is not going to be exactly what happens, but it's interesting to see that the GFS even thinks that this is a possibility, considering we are less than 200 hours out forecasting this. Now, moving on to the European model here, what does it show for this winter storm? Well, it shows a pretty similar story here. We see some snow showers developing in Texas on Wednesday, and by Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we start to see some sleet and some heavier bands of snow mix in there as well. Now, I will note the European does like the idea of potentially some severe weather right up along the Gulf Coast. There's some stronger to severe thunderstorms even, but it is a bit too far out to talk about exactly the threat with that. So the European, again, brings snow to portions of Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma. It kind of keeps the snow further north into portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. It keeps it mostly rain for those three states. And it does not have this turning into a massive nor'easter. So we can't look at total snowfall on the European model. But if I had to guess, that would cut down the snow totals significantly for pretty much everywhere except for areas like Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma from what the GFS had. Now, the Canadian is a model that does track snowfall totals. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Here we can see, again, we see this kind of developing Thursday morning with a big band of ice there across parts of central Texas and North Texas and southern Oklahoma are seeing some snow there, and it likes the idea of this being kind of a widespread event across portions of Texas with severe weather in the southeast part of the state, ice in the central part of the state, and snow in the western and northern portions of the state. And this would be very historic. Again, it has this riding up portions of the eastern United States, and it has it becoming a little bit more of a minor nor'eastern, but still going down to a 963 millibar low pressure system there. So if that were to happen, this would bring significant snow totals again to parts of the deep south there and also portions of southern New England. If we take a look at this here, we can see again we're kind of forecasting a good foot of snow or higher there everywhere from parts of northeast Texas through southeast Oklahoma and west central Arkansas. Maybe a foot of snow or higher there in portions of Delmarva, but that's also including the remnants of Winter Storm Blair. So kind of take that all with a grain of salt. So overall, not quite as significant snow totals as the GFS model, but again, still actually some traces of snow down there in the portions of Dixie Alley, which is pretty interesting. So finally, we'll go ahead and take a look at the RGEM model here. We can see whenever Winter Storm Blair gets out of here, we push this out well into the future. We can see some heavier snow showers developing there across portions of Texas and New Mexico late Wednesday night. And then again, by Thursday morning, that really starts to pop off there with a band of ice in the central part of the state, some severe weather in the southern part of the state, and snow in the northern part of the state. Now, this is shooting out very heavy bands of snow there to portions of Texas, and some areas could see snow that heavy for hours and hours upon end, which would rack up those snow totals very significantly. Now, while we can't look too far out on the RGEM model here to see the full impacts of this event, we can see that just from what we saw, this would bring a good 7 to 8 inches of snow everywhere from parts of North Texas back down into the western portion of the state. So still very significant snow totals there. Again, it's a little too far out to see what this is planning to do for parts of the Ohio Valley and New England, but we do have an idea on the impacts there for portions of the Deep South, and we will see if it does bring some traces of snow to parts of Dixie Alley. It is definitely very possible, but as of right now, we're still a little too uncertain to forecast that. So before we end off this video, I do want to thank all our channel members here. You guys are all awesome, insane people. I cannot believe the incredible amount of support that we've had recently. I also want to give a special shout out to Mayday for becoming an Extreme Risk member. If you do want to become a member on the Dave Says Weather channel, a link will be down in the description so that you can do so. You'll get early access to videos, you get exclusive content, special stickers to use in streams, and more. So with all that being said, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe. That wind is really kicking up, and it is extremely slippery. Wow. Okay, there's a lot of ice. It is so windy. Oh, wow. Dude. Woo. Snow is just coming at us. The stop signs are shaking, and the reason the flag doesn't look that crazy is because it's caught around itself. I came out here to measure snow. I'm gonna show myself. Okay, let's check this out. So on concrete, about 4.5 inches accumulation, but you know, you gotta go to the grass to get the real measurements. And we've got still about 9 inches or so. Still about what we had earlier. Ooh, my feet are cool, dude. It is so windy now, and again, there's a very thin layer of ice here on the garage floor. Look at that, you see that? Woo! I almost slipped and broke my neck on that.